Emancipate yourselves from
Ibrahim Traoré stood frozen before the horrific discovery in Africa's largest diamond mine. 43 miners reported missing over 18 years were lined up mummified in a hidden chamber. The writing on the wall contained a blood-chilling message: the first 43, more to come. This discovery in the mine would force Traoré to confront the dark secrets of the international diamond trade and expose a criminal network no one had dared to touch. The beam of Traoré's flashlight trembled slightly as it swept across the mummified remains. The bodies were arranged in neat rows, each tagged with a small metal identifier. The preservation was meticulous, not the work of amateurs or panicked killers covering their tracks. This was methodical, clinical. The hidden chamber, discovered during a routine structural assessment of the Mana diamond mine, had been sealed behind a false wall, detectable only when recent earth tremors had caused a hairline crack to appear. "Mr. President, we should leave immediately," urged Captain Ouedraogo, head of Traoré's security detail. "This site needs to be secured and properly investigated." But Traoré couldn't tear his eyes away from the macabre display. As president of Burkina Faso, he had seen violence, attempted coups, terrorist attacks, the brutal aftermath of colonial exploitation. But this was different. This was calculated evil, hidden beneath one of Africa's most profitable resources. "How long has this chamber been here?" he asked the mining engineer who had discovered the hidden room. "Based on the construction materials, at least 20 years, the engineer replied, his voice unsteady. "But the bodies appear to have been placed here over time. Some are more decomposed than others." Traoré approached the wall where the message was written, not in paint or blood, but carefully etched into the stone itself. "The first 43, more to come." Below it was a symbol, a diamond with a vertical line through it. "I want this entire mine shut down," Traoré said, his decision immediate and firm. "Full investigation, complete media blackout. No one enters or leaves without direct authorization." Captain Ouedraogo was already coordinating with local security forces through his radio. "Sir, International Continental Mining will object strongly. They'll cite their operational contract." "They'll cite nothing," Traoré cut him off. 43 dead miners in their facility override any contract. This is now a crime scene. As they made their way back through the narrow mine shaft, Traoré's mind raced. The Mana diamond mine was the largest in West Africa, producing nearly 30% of Burkina Faso's mineral exports. International Continental Mining (ICM), the Swiss-based corporation that had operated the mine for decades, wielded enormous economic power in the region. Their influence extended into government ministries, security forces, even judicial appointments. Confronting them would be dangerous, but the alternative, allowing mass murder to go uninvestigated, was unthinkable. By morning, news of the mine's closure had reached ICM's headquarters in Geneva. Traoré was in his office when the call came through. "President Traoré," the smooth voice on the speakerphone belonged to Richard Laurent, ICM's CEO. "I understand there's been some trouble at our Mana facility. Perhaps we can discuss a resolution that avoids unnecessary disruption to operations." 43 murdered miners is beyond trouble, Mr. Laurent," Traoré replied coldly. "It's a massacre." A pause on the line. "These are serious allegations, Mr. President. Without proper investigation, it would be premature to characterize. The investigation is precisely why the mine is closed, and will remain closed until we have answers." "With all due respect," Laurent's tone hardened slightly, "our operational agreement with Burkina Faso includes specific provisions regarding interruptions. Clause 27B explicitly states that temporary closures require joint approval from both the government and ICM's board." Traoré had anticipated this. Clause 19A supersedes in cases of criminal investigation. "I suggest you review it with your legal team." Another, longer pause. "I see you've done your homework, Mr. President. Nevertheless, this closure affects thousands of workers and the broader economic interests of your country. Perhaps we could send our own security team to assist. They have expertise in mining incidents." This isn't an incident, Mr. Laurent. It's a crime scene, and it will be processed by Burkina Faso authorities, not corporate security. Very well, Laurent's voice was now ice cold. But I should warn you, President Traoré, disrupting operations at Mana has broader implications for regional stability, international investment, even your administration's standing. I urge you to consider the bigger picture. The threat, though veiled, was unmistakable. Traoré ended the call without further comment, then turned to his chief of staff, Fatima Diallo. They'll move against us quickly, he said. Prepare for economic pressure, media manipulation, possibly worse. Diallo nodded grimly. The finance minister already reports unusual activity in our sovereign bonds, and 3 international news organizations have contacted us about unconfirmed reports of government overreach at Mana. How could they know anything? We've maintained complete security at the site. They don't need facts, sir, just a narrative. Traoré moved to the window, looking out over Ouagadougou. What about the investigation team? Dr. Konate from the forensic department is assembling her unit now, but she's requesting international assistance. This is beyond our technical capabilities. Traoré considered this. Outside help would complicate matters, potentially exposing the investigation to interference. But Diallo was right. Burkina Faso's forensic resources were limited for a case of this magnitude. Contact the International Criminal Court, he decided. Request a forensic team under our jurisdiction, and add Dr. Amara Osei to Konate's team. Diallo looked surprised. The anthropologist. She's not a criminal investigator. No, but she's studied the region's mining communities for decades. If anyone can identify these victims and understand the context, it's her. As Diallo left to make the arrangements, Traoré returned to the reports from the mine. Something about the scene kept nagging at him. Not just the horror of it, but the precision. The display felt almost ritualistic, yet clinical. And that symbol, he reached for his secure phone and dialed a number few people knew existed. Maurice, I need your expertise. Unofficially, Maurice Sankara had once been Burkina Faso's most feared intelligence